Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Welcome back to a new Steel Division League cast. Today we have US Prestor John versus YueJin. We have the third US Armored versus Grouper Viborg and Maverick Income versus Maverick Income. This one is sure going to be interesting. Hopefully you enjoy it. And yeah, if you have been enjoying these videos, remember hit that subscribe button just so you don't miss any of the action. So let's have a look at the third US Armored deck. You guys are going to know this fairly well, but I do see an early off-map vehicle up in that northern side. It hints a very big push up to the north of this map today from US Prestor John. Just 51 units of infantry. Isn't it interesting compared to the deck the other day when Duro SVK had over 160 squads, and today US Prestor John, he's just got 50. He's gonna make do with 50. The US deck, I guess the jumbos are what everybody kind of thinks of in the main in this deck. Will they I don't think they will have the upper hand today though. Up against Grouper Viborg, there's going to be a hell of a lot of IS-2s coming onto the field. But the infantry, the lack of infantry, 51 units, it is a lack in terms of most divisions, but up against Viborg, I don't think it's going to be too bad. Yeah, 64 units of infantry in Viborg, and you know, it's not, there are some odd, you know, difficult choices to be made for Viborg's infantry. You are kind of very limited on how you field them. You can get a few more, but you basically have to move those Aftermachikis from B into C phase. And an interesting choice picking the Sturmoviki Rocks, I think, in A phase. They can be incredibly good infantry, but you really need to use them the way they're intended in those CQC actions, because just 3 on a card is just so inefficient at the moment. In terms of IS-2s, what have we got? We've got 7 IS-2s in total. I didn't count the number of jumbos, but I feel that like the jumbos are going to be, you know, heavily outmatched. All the tanks are heavily outmatched by those IS-2s, just because the Shermans, they have, you know, those fairly weak guns on them. And interesting, the IL-2KR in the air tab, as well as the IL-2Ms in the air tab as well. Those napalm planes, they could get a lot of action in this game. We'll have to find out. You guys will have to wait and see to find out how this one ends. US Prestor John on the left-hand side in red, playing the US 3rd Armoured on Maverick Income, up against YueJin on the right-hand side in blue, playing Grouper Viborg on Maverick Income. And the Ognamachiki did make it past the M8s there. I didn't notice the early off-map coming in from US Prestor John. Oh, a unit of infantry going down to the M8 in the south. Those Sturmoviki Rocks need to unload. I don't know whether it was the Sturmoviki that got caught there, but if it was, that would have been an incredibly expensive and costly mistake from the Russians today. There is an KV-1S Komroti pushing forwards though. It is going to come up against an M1 gun, and I think the M1 gun is going to win that out. I'll try and keep my eyes on that action, but also we have the off-map coming in up north, hitting a lot of those Russian troops. Down goes the BA to the M8, and and down goes the SU as well. 2 big kills from US Prestor John. That M1 gun, just 2 men remaining on that thing. He did launch forward and attack with the half track, but came into sight another BA-10M and a KV-1S and thought better of it. Down in the south, not yet an engagement between those 2 pieces of equipment down there. US Prestor John gets the early 14-10. He does capture this central flag, which is sometimes hard to do. as a player coming from the left-hand side of this battlefield. The Ogmachiki are spotted advancing forwards. Oh, and the M1 gun, I think that finally does spot the KV. First shot, I think that is a hit, so he should get the kill here. Maybe it's this one. Oh, I think he's unlucky not to get a kill with that third shot. Surely we'll get a penetration with the fourth. No! So the M1 gun is struggling. Oh, it is only AP. For a moment there I was thinking APCR does get the kill. Does get the kill with the, I think that was the 5th or 6th shot there. But yeah, I think it was expected for the M1 gun to win that engagement. And US Prestor John is pushing hard early on. Zis 3 engaging the Jumbo coming into the city. There's no way it's going to penetrate that thing. I think YueJin has to pull that back. Down comes another off map. The BA-10 goes down as well. And the town is looking like it could get overwhelmed quite quickly here. I feel like US Prestor John has definitely scored. Ooh, that is hurtful. The P51D coming in and getting rid of that Zis 2 gun. US Prestor John has really scored some devastating hits early on in this game, and he definitely has a different playstyle to most of the Division 1 players. Very mechanised, focused, and I love it. I do love it. YueJin does have an 82mm onto the field, but the rate he's getting destroyed in that central area, that could come under pressure too. We do have Sturmoviki Rocks here advancing forwards onto the flamethrowers, and they will get the kill as long as they can get into range, or at least spot them, should I say. Here comes the IO2KR, does strafe down that M1 gun, but there's another one right behind it. And US Prestor John's making some tasty moves. Some very tasty moves here. Will the M1 gun get the kill on the KV-1S here in the centre town as well? There is a Jumbo that can add to the weight of fire. Yeah, down goes the KV. But the IL-2KR does come in and nearly cleans up that M1 gun. I think we do need to see some AA coming in from US Prestor John. Because that IL-2KR is just going to stick around for a hell of a long time. Let's just remind ourselves, he does have some M15 CGMC, so I'm kind of surprised he hasn't bought one in already. YueJin does retake the centre flag, take some pressure off him. It's the 1311. But he has lost a hell of a lot of troops in this central area. Or centre north area, should I say. It looks like he might equal up the 1212 here with the KV-1S coming down and the Ogmachiki to spot that half track. Oh, the infantry have pushed forwards into that forest. And that's a very nice forest to secure, because from there they can push northwards as well. Two IL-2KRs on the field now. Yep, the M3A1 off map is spotted. This was like what I was saying in the other game. I believe that has used all three of its artillery uses. But you can use that a little bit more aggressively. This one doesn't have the radio from the looks of it, but it should be a recon vehicle. And as soon as the enemy spots that vehicle, he doesn't know that there's no charges left on it, so he is going to dispatch some kind of unit, usually an air unit, for a quick reaction to try and destroy that vehicle. Yeah, there he does. He does take it down. He has used ammunition and resources to do that. We do now see an M15 CGMC in here, but I believe that off map did use all 3 charges, so I don't believe YueJin has kind of gained any advantage from taking that vehicle down. M3A1 half track. Oh, look at this. He's trying to flank around to take out the 82mm mortar, and he might well get away with this. The Churchill is going to move out into the light forest. It's going to block the line of sight. I think US Prestor John's going to get away with this flanking maneuver. He may well get spotted by the KV-1S. No, this is going to be a nice kill for US Prestor John, I'm sure. He does now spot the artillery unit, and he should take that down. And look at him pushing through the north. This is a very nice advance that US Prestor John is managing to put forward here. 14-10 up right now. Both players are on the same income, so definitely US Prestor John has done very well for the start of this game. I do feel like an IS-2 would start to shut down. Just as I'm saying it, I see it come in. I think it would start to shut down some of the play, as long as that IS-2 can, you know, stay alive and really put the hurt onto some of US Prestor John's vehicles. But Prestor up north looks unstoppable at this point. Those KV-1S really haven't stood up to the M1 guns. Look at the position from this M3 half track as well. It is going to get spotted by the Churchill 4, and it should get taken out. But any reinforcements that have come in up to this point may have been, you know, any Studebaker trucks could have been taken out by the M3A1. Well, this KV-1S is having a terrible time trying to take out this M3 half track. Finally does the job. Finally does the job. Churchill is going to be up against a jumbo, and actually advantage jumbo here. Big time. That Churchill is going to have no real penetration chance, and the Churchill is going to go down at some point. The jumbo might not necessarily have a great penetration chance either, but the Churchill should go down here. IS-2 is now in, and we'll take shots at that jumbo. Might take a while to penetrate though, and may well even run out of ammunition. Prestor John backs it out of the way, out of line of sight. So for now, YueJin has halted further advances, and it's 13-11 to US Prestor John. YueJin has picked up the flag here in the center as well. He's maintained hold of his side of the town. It's just this northern flag right now that US Prestor John has taken. In comes an M1 gun, and that's going to help US Prestor John on this north. In fact, I think he's going to push it through the forest here and look to flank, to hit the IS-2 in its flank. And actually, I think the M3 mortar survived that half track assault. I didn't actually see the end of that. I was just assuming the half track would take out that mortar unit. We do see another IS-2 up north to contest against the northern jumbo. A very interesting battle, and right now I feel like it's going to come down to this very northern part of the battlefield. YueJin has managed to get in a number of reinforcements here. He was looking in desperate times, but he has managed to bring in reinforcements. He is now trying to push forwards with his Strelke units. And the IS-2 looks like he's trying to contest that against the jumbo. Really interesting play here. Jumbo taking shots on the KV-1S across the battlefield, but it is now going to come up against another KV-1S. No, US Prestor John backs it away again, and the IS-2 cannot get in position for a kill shot. Oh, look at these M4s. Is US Prestor John going to try and launch a surprise flank here? Does also bring in the M4A1 off map. If that IS-2 gets stressed out, he could be in a world of pain. And look at the M1 guns further north. They are taking shots at the Aftermachiki. Oh, both of them go down. Both of them go down. On the IS-2 is now engaging close range. But the M1 gun is pulled back. I don't think at this close range it can engage against that IS-2. US Prestor John's going to have to find a different... Oh, the off-map's coming down and YueJin just pushes his infantry forwards. Let's see whether he notices that, whether he stops those infantry. And it looks like it's going to be P-51 attacks that try to destroy those IS-2s. He has not stopped that infantry moving forwards, and that could be painful for YueJin. Because the off-map is still coming down. No real movement down on the south. P-51D does take down the IL-2KR, and we get a second engagement here between the planes, and it looks like advantage is going to go to US Prestor John here. The P-51s are going to do the job, 2 against 1. That's what I feel like right now. They have the loadout to do it as well. 6 50 cals. If YueJin continues the engagement, I feel like he's going to lose this one. Although I would recall this one if I was Prestor John. It is heavily smoking right now. He does get the fall back. They should finish the job on the next run. Another IS-2 up onto the northern side. That's 3 IS-2s. When it looks like this P-51 will get behind it. Will it get there in time for the kill? Oh, in comes an LA-7. No, down goes the P-51. YueJin at exactly the right time pulls in the LA-7 for the kill. And it's now LA-7 versus P-51. But I think the P-51 is going to get the advantage here. And it looks like it is going to score the kill on this head-on pass. No! The LA-7 forces the fallback, but yeah, YueJin's not going to chase. He could lose that vehicle. IS-2s remain intact. The off-map's still coming down. In fact, there's more off-map vehicles heading in. I think US Prestor John is desperately trying to get the surrender from this IS-2. But another one is on the field. YueJin's just relying on IS-2s right now. But I understand why he's doing that, because the IS-2s can really halt US Prestor John in his tracks. They're just incredibly costly. Okay, here comes the M4A1s. Interesting decision. Interesting decision, yeah. Oh, those off maps. Those off maps. And there's an IS-2 here, takes down another Sherman. Another off map headed in. What can YueJin do against this barrage of off maps? And Prestor John should be able to move up his infantry behind the barrage. Just look at the number of units up on this northern side. I feel like perhaps YueJin... I mean, US Prestor John took it to YueJin from the very beginning. Oh god, these Strokies are going to walk straight into this third off-map strike now. Oh, that was almost a direct hit onto those IS-2s. The Strokey do unload, so at least they won't get lost in one strike. There isn't... I thought that was the IS-2 that was pinned down, but no, that is the Strokey unit. I kind of feel like maybe YueJin could have done something to take the pressure off his north by pushing down south. But he was, right from the very start of this game, US Prestor John just focused the north so heavily that YueJin has had to constantly reinforce this position. He's had no opportunity to concentrate on any other flank than just holding off the onslaught of the 3rd US Armoured. Down goes another KV to the M1 gun. 14:10 to US Prestor John. There's 15 minutes left on the clock. The IS-2 Comroti is almost stressed out here, but it's now too far away that any kind of surrender is pretty much impossible. I feel like maybe US Prestor John is just trying to eliminate the infantry, because Viborg does not get a hell of a lot of infantry. In comes further P-51D attacks. There is an M1 gun now firing at the IS-2s. I mean, there is so much. I almost feel like some bazookas would be perfect to take out these IS-2s. Interesting, the P-51D here, I think it lost its target. We do see the M4A176s. They will have a better chance, but still I think they'll struggle. Does US Prestor John have any kind of bazookas in his deck? No, he has nothing in the anti-tank tab, and in the infantry tab I think the armoured rifles do get them. Yeah, I think the armoured rifles get the bazookas. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't sort of tried to move a couple of them into that area, and maybe try and just swarm, because oh, it looks like he's going for the surrender here. Both of them are falling back. Down goes one IS-2 to I think a close range M1 gun. The other looks like it might surrender here. Yeah, oh, it goes down to the M1 gun. The 2-star M1 guns at what, 300 meters do take down the IS-2s. Looks like a P-51D did go down there, but 2 of those IS-2s gone down in a matter of moments. That is a costly loss for YueJin. 290 points there. Just decimated in moments. And it really takes away the defensive power from YueJin in this northern side. Another off map from Prestor John. I think he's using these off maps to just decimate whatever infantry he can, because he doesn't have a great amount of infantry himself, so whoever runs out of infantry is going to really struggle to control territory. More mortars onto the battlefield. Not fantastically placed mortar strikes. We do see another IS-2 going up north. So I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 IS-2s I think we've seen. Let's see how many YueJin has. 7 in total. So I think he's got 2 more IS-2s in reserve, if I've counted correctly. The LA-7 is flying overhead now. Trying to provide overwatch in case any further P-51D attacks come through, but Prestor John just using an artillery barrage, pushing forwards a half track, trying to get surrenders. The mortar unit that went down to 1 man following that half-track attack does still survive here, and is that targeting? I think it's on counter battery. Either that or no. I think he must have spotted those units from the IL-2KR recon and ordered the artillery to strike in that way. So he's trying to take the anti-air down of US Prestor John. And more P-51D attacks coming in onto the IS-2 there. And 13-11 to US Prestor John, 14-10. There's 10 minutes left on the clock. Just look at the numbers of units up here. US Prestor John does really build up forces very strong, and having seen him play Maverick Income twice now in the last 2 games, it really seems to suit him. This income style really does seem to suit him. He's incredibly cautious with his units, and so Maverick allows that build up for him to the point where he, oh, look at that shot. I think that was the M4A176 that got that kill there onto the central IS-2. The other ones have gone down here as well. A new one comes into play, so I think that's 6. I think YueJin only has 1 more left in reserve, but I just can't see how. I don't see how he's going to get back into this, because I think US Prestor John has just traded so well. Look how YueJin's pushing forward this IS-2 to pick up the flag here. He is getting quite aggressive with this one. But no bazookas on the units up north. Now some armoured rifles being brought in will have the bazookas, but for this moment YueJin's got control. And maybe he has re-established some kind of control. In comes the P-51D. Big strikes. And will Prestor John go for the surrender? Oh, if this comes off, it goes down anyway to the weight of fire, I think, from the M4A176s here. Yeah, those IS-2s are just being overwhelmed. Just being overwhelmed from the skies, but also the weight of fire of the number of units US Prestor John has. Are we going to see another IS-2 in up north? No more IS-2s left on the field. Sorry, there is one. There is one in the centre area. And it looks like, has US Prestor John made a push down south? No. For a moment I was thinking these flamethrowers had made a move. I do feel like it was I feel like YueJin would have been well served by trying to mount some kind of assault down south to take the pressure off him. I mean, if you look at US Prestor John's units, just look at how concentrated they are into the far north, into that third of the battlefield. It's allowed him to really concentrate his troops. Having said that, I can totally understand why YueJin has not done that, because I don't think he's been able to. From the very start of this game, I don't think he's been able to even catch a breath. US Prestor John has been on the attack from the very first minute. The initial strikes, he had an off map. He really took it to YueJin in the north, and YueJin's just constantly been trying to reinforce his north to stabilize the situation. Maybe some pressure down south would have taken the pressure off the north, but yeah, like I say, I do understand why he's been unable to do that. Okay, I think that's the last IS-2 onto the battlefield now. And how is YueJin gonna deal with the situation if those IS-2s goes down? 15-9 to US Prestor John. I think he's recovered this flag here. There was a KV that's gone down. Oh, and YueJin does surrender. YueJin does surrender at this point. He didn't see any way back, and it's understandable. I'm expecting Robert. I'm expecting US Prestor John to have traded incredibly well. Wow. Not as much as I thought. Not as much as I thought. I thought we were going to be looking at about 1,000 kill difference at least. Possibly more than that. But no, congratulations to US Prestor John. 2,600 kills to 2,300 losses. YueJin, commiserations. 2,300 kills to 2,700 losses, so actually lost some to friendly fire there from the looks of it. US Prestor John, he made that work for him. he was rampant from the beginning of the game. This M1 gun very early on, taking down the KV-1S, the SU-76, and the second KV-1S. I think that really gave him a big advantage up north. Another M1 gun, another M1 gun. It looks like it's the M1 guns that are winning it for US Prestor John here, because if he can destroy the enemy's vehicles, keep his Shermans alive, keep his Jumbos and Shermans alive, then the Jumbos and the Shermans can kill the enemy infantry, and that keeps your infantry alive. So it looks like the M1 gun has won it for Prestor John. There is a nice Sherman here. Hall in the M4A1 does take out a number of infantry units. In terms of IS-2 kills, it looks like we get the IS-2 dying here to an M4A176, another one here to another M4A176. We got one down to the M1 gun, one down to another M1 gun, and actually some off-map artillery finally took down the IS-2 Komrotti in that central town. I think it was 3, maybe 4 off-map strikes singly focused on taking down that IS-2. Fantastic. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this game. Plenty of big armoured vehicles in this game, Jumbos and IS-2s, and congratulations to US Prestor John. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and check out the links in the description for links to my Discord and Twitch. Come join me, let's play Steel Division 2 together, and yeah, more from me coming up soon. Thanks very much for watching.